What's going on, guys? It's the Nightwing and Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video here today. This is going to be the LCS 2021 lock-in semifinals day 1 thoughts and opinions. Cloud9 versus 100 Thieves. Hey, we predicted it. Hey, the 3-2 for Cloud9 because 100 Thieves, as I said before, this series came out and was played yesterday and was absolutely a blast to watch to a certain extent. There's a lot to discuss for the series because, like, there's a lot of people that had so many trash narratives. There was this, like, group of people in the YouTube chat, if you guys actually watched the C9 versus the 100 Thieves series on YouTube, oh my god. Some of these people just genuinely don't know what the hell they're talking about. Like, it was just actually...
No, but we expect that. Reddit commentary is useless. I would much actually... Honestly... The funniest is watching with like LS or Double Lift or whoever's doing like the commentary series for that day, because their chat, like, they pretend that they're big brained when they agree with everything that LS says, but then the moment that he says something that they're like I don't know, he could say like Bjergsen's not the best mid laner in NA, and they'll just fucking eviscerate. It's like the most polarizing experience ever. Yeah.
But what I will say about the series is someday it's just insane. I feel so bad for him. He is so good.
He tried so hard to carry the series.
Him and Closer, FBI, and they played their hearts out. Now Damonte, to a certain extent, was playing okay, but then later on...
to be fair, we can't dump on Damonte because you know what, he actually legitimately tried. Obviously we can, but like he legitimately tried. He legitimately played his heart out, and you know what, I respect them all because until game 5 it did not look like they just rolled over. Game 5 they absolutely 100% did, but
even when they got the first blood, you could tell they were still trying. And like, this is a team I want to see from NA go to Worlds later on this year when we get to that point where we have to get, Worlds qualifications. I could see this roster doing really well all year. You know what? If Cloud9 does win Spring like they did in the last Spring and go to MSI, I could see a world where we see 100 Thieves versus Cloud9 in a finals, actually. And potentially, maybe 100 Thieves can upset Cloud9 later on. Potentially. Hey, all potential,
Maybe. Not gonna lie, I'm liking 100 Thieves a lot more than I'm liking TSM and EG, especially after EG's performance today.
Dude, we literally had TSM at 5th in our power rankings.
Yeah.
This is kind of
I know, but it's like, people still are... I don't know why, but they're still like, yes, TSM, believe it. They're gonna gel, they're gonna come back, and I'm like, no. Fudge has a higher chance of becoming #1 top in NA than TSM does of climbing above 5th place.
I'm still standing by what I said. My LCS 2021 Spring Split Power Rankings, I have TSM 5th. I know people flame me for it, but hey, I'm just saying though, we were not wrong with our prediction. That roster looks like crap.
God,
no. Roster looks like
and
the
100
only have 2
Thieves?
good players though. Like, my problem is, like, how can you fall in love with the roster that only has 2 good players and they're gonna eventually, mark my words, they will be a Power of Evil team. They're gonna be like, all right, no playstyles, Power of Evil, what you got for us? Because we suck.
Honestly, I will say the series was pretty fucking rocky. I think the biggest one for me was game 2. I was watching the draft and I just fucking flipped the table and I was just like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Udyr, as soon as Udyr was locked, I was like, okay, this is a bit of a spicy pick. Like, you know what? They're debuting it, but you know what? I can see it. Udyr's pretty fucking strong right now.
Graves top.
And then they fucking Taric Seraphine with Graves top. I was just like,
I like the Taric Seraphine. I like that. My thing was that if you want to, like, why take Graves top then?
Why take Yone?
Yeah, like, I understand why you would pair Taric. Taric's not a bad support. Taric is good for Vulcan's playstyle. I think Taric and Vulcan go hand in hand.
Taric Seraphine is the part of your composition that makes the most sense. That's okay. I've read people say that they think they might have accidentally meant to lock Gragas as opposed to Gregs, and it was a misclick. But they, due to the rulings and shit, they can't remake or whatever. I don't know how true that is. I think that would be fucking hilarious.
That'd be hilarious.
If that actually came out, they were like, yeah, we totally meant to pick Gragas, but then we were like, fuck it, let's try it. Let's just see how it works.
Let's dive right into it. So game 1 of 100 Thieves versus Cloud9. 100 Thieves drafted Gragas, Olaf, Galio, Misfortune, and Rill. C9 drafted Lulu, Kindred, Oriana, Aphelios, and Thresh. So game 1 was pretty much just like game 5, except in 100 Thieves' favor. This game stunk for Cloud9 because 100 Thieves just literally beat the shit out of them. And guys, oh my lord, because we had this big debate in the fan cast. You can't judge Fudge right now. Come on, dude, give him time. No, guys.
No.
I give every player their credit when it is due, and I give them shit when it is deserved. Just because he just started and he obviously has been having a rough time doesn't mean you just say, yeah, he'll develop, because I can guarantee you if this guy was on any other team, people would rip into him. Only because he's on
100%.
Cloud9, people are going, oh, he'll develop. No one's saying he's not gonna develop. No one's saying that. People are saying he's playing badly right now. He's what, 10-0
I'd put a caveat to that. He's playing bad given the caliber of players around him.
That's true.
We expect Fudge to be performing at top 3 level right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's not playing at top 3 level. Frankly speaking, I put him 5th overall right now.
Maybe
4th or
6th?
5th overall for like top laners.
Yeah.
Alfari, Someday, Impact are all easily top 3, and then you can kind of flip the table on whoever takes 4th and 5th position, but it's pretty competitive. I'll say this: this was definitely not the first 3 games were Fudge was never going to perform well. He was literally just a punching bag for 100 Thieves, and I feel like C9 knew that.
Mm-hmm.
And even still, in the first game, he was within 2k of Someday. He kept up CS to the point where by the end of the game, I think he was sub 20 CS down against the Gragas. He did get solo killed under the tower, so I do.
He got solo killed a lot. He got Dovo. The dives. I
think he only got solo killed once.
Like 3.
I'm pretty sure he only got.
He almost got solo the 3rd time. He got solo twice.
He almost got killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he almost got killed once, but he definitely only got solo killed once by Someday, I do believe. In the if I remember the
might
series
as well
correct.
solo kills, dude, because
they gave him the fucking direst treatment. There was a point where I was watching the match, and I just I found YouTube's like, I just want to play League of Legends. That's what it felt like for Fudge.
Game 1, it was all 100 Thieves. Like, nothing they did was wrong. Like, the issue here is, like, what do you even do? Like, and this is what I like about 100 Thieves, and this roster is, people were just praising Someday, and I'm so glad Someday finally has a team that is good. And I can see this roster doing well all year long. This is definitely a roster where if they're 3rd place, I'm not saying, man, they're 3rd place because FlyQuest suck right now. No, they're just 3rd place because their competition above them is just that much better. Now,
100%.
Game 2, we had what people would say is Reignover even drafting properly. So game 2, you had 100 Thieves with Renekton, Nidalee, Ryze, Kai'Sa, and Alistar. C9 took Graves.
No. Yeah, there you go.
Udyr, Yone, Seraphine, and Taric.
No.
The story of this game was Camp Fudge beat Cloud9.
Yeah. No, they're honestly... Okay, so in theory, I'm going to say this. This game was winnable because there was like only one... At one point, there was literally only one form of grievous wounds or like anti-healing, basically, on the entire team. There was just one. I'm pretty sure FBI picked up an Executioner's Culling, and that was it. That was all of the ways that they had to handle essentially a massive life-stealing composition. So that was really fucking dumb by them, and it made it a little more competitive than it ever should be.
It looked close a little bit, but it only looked close because who he kind of would always over aggressive. What's that word? He would be too aggressive.
Aggro. Way too aggro.
I don't want to use those league terms on these nerds. Dang it. But guys, this game stunk. Like, I was like,
bad.
I was like, Reignover, what are you doing? Now, people said they misclicked. Like, it would, to be fair, they would still either having a Graves or a Gragas really wouldn't have did anything, honestly. They still would have lost the game.
Oh, no. I'm going to disagree with you there.
Okay.
Gragas with disengage, as well as the ability to break up the team. Because basically, here's what ended up happening in that game 90% of the time was 100 of Thieves would get engaged on by C9, but C9 basically doesn't have any form of engage other than Taric and like a flash stun from Udyr. So they had very, very little hard engage. You put a Gragas in that mix who could just fucking cask someone into oblivion or break up the team and everything, and suddenly that becomes a lot more difficult to re-engage upon in the way that 100 Thieves did. So I think Gragas would have been a way better pick. I can understand why they didn't do it in game one, other than the fact that, 100 Thieves took it. But, with Kindred and everything, it made sense that they wouldn't be picking the Gragas anyways. For game two, I think it would have been a lot better. But who knows? Brain over 200 IQ play. Just like, you know what? Maybe he just took a mad fucking rip from the bong in between games. It's just like, fucking Graves, let's do it.
If you want to pick a...
Let's fuck it up.
If you needed someone like that... Hey, I love Darius, and Darius plays well into Renekton. Maybe Darius or Pantheon top, something like that would have been way better.
I'm glad they didn't go Quinn, that's what I'll say.
Quinn would have been even better, to a certain extent. It's like anything but Graves. But now, after 100 Thieves start up 2-0, Cloud9 has to reverse sweep. Game 3 is where it all happened. C9 drafted Lulu, Udyr, Yone, Senna, and Tahm Kench. 100 Thieves drafted Aatrox, Lillian, Ryze, Kai'Sa, and Alistar. Pretty much the same composition, except for a different top and jungle for 100 Thieves. Now, this game, it was still close. Like, 100 Thieves, guys, throughout this series, played really well up until the final game. They played great. This game was also really close. Like, you can tell most of the people watching this game didn't know what the hell a fasting Senna was. They're like, oh my god, Senna has 1 CS. Fasting Senna.
That was so funny.
That was actually hilarious.
That was so fucking funny. Even the casters were like, okay, so we could explain this. We can explain this. I swear, it's a thing.
It's a
it
strategy.
Makes sense. Just trust us here.
They were like, no, you guys are just being biased, and then it wins the game.
Yo, Vulcan on Tahm Kench is fucking scary.
Tahm Kench,
the number of times that he saved one of his teammates is insane.
Vulcan and Core JJ are on a different solar system. So
100%.
Who he's probably in like Saturn. So
like honestly, who he played good, but Vulcan, all he had to do was every time who he went in to try and flash engage on Sven, because he did that all fucking game.
And that's what we said. Remember, we've said that as we were talking in the Real Esports show. We even said the difference in bot lane is massive, though. The difference in top side is massive, but then you also have a difference in the bot lane. Because I even said the difference in the bot lane will make the difference, though. Because you can have someone winning top lane, but if there's an ahead bot lane, it does matter more to a certain extent. Because it's constant DPS. And then you also have a point where now people know that who he is probably ideally like the third or fourth best support outside of Ignar. Depending on how I see Ignar after the series, and you said it probably doesn't look good for him either. So, what I like is that who he's probably like in Saturn, you have just like Vulcan and Core JJ and like fucking Pluto just chilling up there. Just
Hui and Ignar are like, you're right. They are kind of just hanging out up there. They're really good at knowing what they have to do. The problem is Vulcan and Core JJ are like 200 IQ. So they already know what Ignar and Hui are going to try and do and what they should be doing, and they're prepared. They're already waiting for them to do that so that they can do what they need to do to make Hui and Ignar basically fucking irrelevant in their positions. And that's what Vulcan did. He made Hui irrelevant. It didn't fucking... Hui was like, yeah, I flash, headbutt, pulverize it. I'm gonna get Sven to be... Oh, and you swallowed him. And he's out and has a bajillion range.
There was a point in game 3 where Aatrox someday, oh my god, C9, hey, if you ever have an import slot open again, hey, Sven becomes
Someday's a fucking beast, but I said it even in your Discord. I was like, yo, NA Aatrox. 100 Thieves lose this one. And they were like, no, it's fine, it's someday. I'm like, no. There's like 3 top laners that I can name who can play Aatrox and win. and none of them are named Someday.
But to be
so
fair,
unfortunately,
you also said the same thing about Damonte too. You're like, if they had any other mid laner but Damonte, they might have won. Well, not any other, but like someone like a Jizuke, someone like a Power of Evil would throw them the edge.
That's actually true. Something we haven't touched on is Damonte looked absolutely fucking useless when he wasn't on like Galio Twisted Fate.
Yeah,
I don't understand why.
He had like a 0-5 Rise game. It wasn't game 3. No, it might have been game 3. He was 0-5 for a 30-minute game.
Game 3. Yeah, on a Rise, 0-5. In what that game was fucking long too. It was like a 40-minute game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, dude, come on.
So that's the thing we were talking about, is that the Golden Guardians core that came to be 100 Thieves is strong. But I would say, if you take out Damonte and you put in like a Power of Evil Jizuke, barring import rules, this is just hypothetical, right?
Yeah. They
become a lot better. This is a much better team without Damonte. Nothing against Tanner Time. He played good at some points during the season.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
But Tanner Time doesn't win you trophies. Sorry. It definitely didn't win him the series. Oh, God.
Actually,
sorry
okay.
These fans. It's too soon.
I'm going to say this. Game 4, 100 Thieves should have won. The draft went so in their favor. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know, did they fuck up their switches? Because
the map rotations were bad on their part.
Well, no, just like Hui plays a really good support set, and Damonte obviously plays a really good Galio.
You think they
why the fuck did they switch them?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I legitimately thought they were gonna go Galio mid with Damonte. He's being roaming mid laners, and who he would have gotten set.
Like, I guess maybe it was like, oh, Galio has a bit more range to harass, and so he's not going to get shit on as hard by Bard MF. Mm-hmm. So I guess like maybe that was their decision making, but one way or another, I feel like they should have just put Hui back on the Engage, put Damonte back on Galio, and they would have had a much better time. That being said, everyone who was shitting on Fudge needed to just sit down and shut the fuck up and watch as Fudge literally just shit on Someday. The casters, everyone was like, oh man, Someday's gonna like turn into this monster Jax and fucking 1v9. By the end of that game, Fudge, who was down CS and down kills, was still even in gold.
Because game 4
and was shitting on some. This is game 4, yeah.
Yeah, so game 4 C9 had Camille, Lillian, TF, MS Fortune, Bard. 100 Thieves had Jax, Talia, Set, Zaya, and Galio. So the issue here is, I think 100 Thieves lost a point in the draft where like, okay, you don't want to draft against Fudge, but that's a good thing in C9's favor because he's had a really good Camille. He's only died one time on it. He's like, what, 10-1 on it? His best champion is Camille, though, right?
He died twice on Camille, but like honestly, he was trading well in lane. He was applying pressure to Someday. It was only when jungle closer came up
Camille,
there.
He plays good. Like when he's not, I don't think he's really good per se, but when you need him to play his best champions well, he plays those champions well.
Basically, Fudge can't play weak side is the problem that I feel. And C9 needs him to be able to play weak side right now. So they're doing a lot to give him time on these champions like Lulu. We've seen him fuck shit up on Gragas. We've now seen him fuck shit up on Camille even more. Like, the guy can play when the team's playing around top side. His weak side top play is kind of shit.
It's really bad.
And C9 needs him to be able to play weak side so that they can play bot and just let Sven fucking pentakill everything. Okay,
Sven's the best ADC in the league. This should undoubtedly prove it right now. Sven's the
not
best
only
ADC.
not only is Sven the best ADC, but Vulcan, Jesus fucking Christ. What was that Bard ult at the end?
It was so good. Dude, I was so skeptical on Blabber coming into the season. Blabber's looking pretty solid so far. He's looking pretty good. And that also was a nice little, how would you say the word? A nice little bit of a even playing field amongst the teams. Because if there was already a top div, imagine a jungle div. That would have been pretty bad. But
like the game was
Blabber was toe to toe with Closer most of the whole series, and then you also the bot lane, which was better than 100 Thieves the whole series. It was nice. I would say,
like the backside of the series, like the 3 games that C9 won. I would honestly say Blabber just fucking took Closer's school.
Like he looked worse on Talia though. Like he wasn't bad, but it's like nothing like he's he threw a spear on a stand. He threw a spear. The target
look,
was standing.
Santorin's done it. Closer's now done it. We've seen them enough. It's the standing still strategy. Okay, so I actually fudge fucking 200 IQ'd Closer, and I honestly thought Closer was just fucking trolling by missing the spear, but no. So the stun on Renekton is short enough that generally the champions will already be moving or trying to move when the stun wears off. So Closer and Santorin have been baited where they throw the spear thinking that with the Renekton stun ending, they'll automatically path forward a little bit. But these fucking 200 IQ plays on Fudge, he just hits X, Graves stands still, and the spear misses. So, and there was someone else that I remember that did that as well. So, like, honestly, part of that is, the top laners outplaying, and part of that is, the junglers mistiming or mispredicting exactly what's going on.
And then, also to end off Game 5, Sven gets a pentakill and becomes the very first player in LCS history to hit to get pentakills in back-to-back games. And
he's tied.
He's the only LCS player to have back-to-back pentas in a series, right?
He's the only one to have back-to-back pentas, and I believe he's tied total number of pentakills with I think it's Double Lift and Altec, but don't quote me on that.
It might be Altec though, because Double Lift has a lot of them over the years.
It's definitely Altec. Altec definitely has a shit ton of pentas for some reason. And I'm pretty sure it's Double Lift. But Sven's tied them with his Game 4 performance, which...
and on the same champion, though. He got back-to-back pentas on the same champion and in the same series. That was like, okay, what... I've only ever seen that one time in my life. It was the pre-reworked Evelyn. The old Evelyn, not the newest one people are now used to. I saw her get 2 pentakills in one. I was like, what? That was insane. That was like, Sven is just insane. So last game, guys, you had C9 with Camille, Udyr, TF, Misfortune, Galio. 100 Thieves had Jax, Talia, Ryze, Vayne, and Rel. It looks promising. When the Vayne got the first blood, I was like, oh no. Nope, it didn't matter. Because Blabber just ran around and started killing people.
I feel like this game was exactly what C9 was. This was like the perfect C9 draft for what they were planning on doing. You've got Fudge. He went 404. Like, let's just back it up a minute. He was like 100 CS down or like 50 CS down on Someday, most of it. And the guy went 404 and fucking man-moded it with Blabber. Like, it was fucking insane. So this game was basically C9 got the draft that they were looking for. And then they played it to perfection. And with Damonte being on Ryze and Closer being taken off of his favorite junglers onto something less comfortable.
Yeah.
Basically, I would say that this series came down to the fact that C9 figured out exactly who they needed to take off comfort picks to just make 100 Thieves drop from a top 3 team to like a bottom 3 team.
You know what's funny is that this Golden Guardians core in their last series together have gotten reverse swept by TSM and now by Cloud9. There is something.
I feel bad for them.
You know, there's something where they can't close out a game though. But it's only in draft though, because the games that they start the reverse sweep happening on them, they look close though. It's not it's not like in game 3 they're getting just destroyed. They're winning the game.
No, exactly.
You know,
like part of that is probably fatigue. Like 5 games, because you and especially at this level.
Yeah, you come out swinging, and then you lose one game, and then your enemy wins a game, and now you're about to get reverse swept. You're like, oh no, now we're like...
The pressure falls on you 100%. And honestly, I feel like while they did get the first blood, the problem is they lost the tempo, and without doing anything, without doing anything, C9 basically just brought it back to net even. And by the time they started to try making plays with, Damonte, Realm Warp, and all that stuff, C9 was already just ramping up. And I just felt so bad because I was just watching, and every play that they went for, C9 was just ready and waiting, and collapsed in, and Blabber then just took everything on the map. Like, you basically can look at the match history, and it just comes down to this: 100 Thieves made a play, C9 immediately counters, and then Blabber takes everything, and that just kept happening over and over and over. And yeah, by the end of it, they were like 16k ahead.
They probably imagined this how the series should have went, but no, like, credit to 100 Thieves. I do want to say it was a really good series to watch. To a certain extent, there was a lot of bad in the first 2 games by Cloud9. Oh my god! And you guys you can tell we're not biased because we definitely criticized them a lot during, even during the preseason. I said there's some issues here that can't come up, and there's still issues. Let's be honest, like, there's still issues, and
honestly, if they try to play weak side against TL, they'll lose. Just straight up, Fudge cannot play. They can't play weak side. They can't play weak side top.
He just barely beat Someday. Now he's got to go up against Alfari, and it's like, Alfari and him are better players than Fudge. It's like team carried him, kind of. Like, no offense to Fudge, but just not playing.
Game three, definitely okay, Blabber in game 3 was a fucking Chad. Like, if Closer was a Chad in the first couple of games, Blabber just saw that and just injected pure testosterone into him and became that bully in the hallway that just, like, picked up Closer, shoved him in a fucking locker. My god. The guy just fucking went ham. What?
The last player to touch upon is Damonte. So, Damonte, because people in our Discord were calling him Discount Niski. A discounted Niski still won series, though. Hey, come on. People like to rag on Niski's playstyle, but Discount Niski did win series. Discounted Niski won a title. People say, it was online. Half the split was played on stage before COVID happened. So let's not just throw context here. I'm just saying, like, Niski, he still won lanes too. Like, Damonte didn't win a single lane against Perks, despite being claimed he was better. Despite being better going in, he never won a lane.
Damonte is not a hard carry mid laner.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, when you have a Niski style mid laner, you have to have a top laner and a bot lane ADC who can pick up the damage slack that you're going to be putting out. If you're, primarily playing a Galio, a TF, those kind of champions where, don't get me wrong, Galio and TF can do damage, but they're not necessarily
those are like setup champions. They set up something, follow up, carry, do the damage. Yeah,
exactly. You need to have top laner and ADC who can, pick up that slack. To be honest, for me, what really fell apart was the fact that FBI, he is totally passable as an ADC, but compared to Sven or Tactical, I don't see him taking over the games the same way. I see Closer, Someday, and Damonte as their primary carries.
I'm realistically right now, moving on, because Sven's contract is up after the season. Cloud9 definitely renew Sven's contract. Write that.
Yeah.
If you can,
I'm so happy I picked Sven as my pick'ems.
Dude,
like, just
I can't. I always rub it in that Cloud9 group's face in. Sven's better than Sneaky. It's just, I know it rubs the wrong way.
It was a debate from the start, and it's just turned from like anyone who's like who's now trying to be like
Caitlyn. He can't play Caitlyn. Yeah, he can't play Caitlyn. A pro LCS AD carry can't play Caitlyn. He's like, no Sneaky, no Worlds. I'm like, guys, Sven has won more titles. And, Sneaky's been top 4 at Worlds. Zen was top 4 at 2015 Worlds. 2015 Worlds was much harder to do well in than 2018 Worlds. Just saying. That was a group of death right there. So
what I'll say is this: I think if FBI can turn into more of a carry, that, or maybe they play a little bit more around Someday rather than Damonte.
Yeah. I was gonna say that too. Instead of how Cloud9 plays around their bot side. If 100 Thieves wants to do well, you have a strong bot side, which is good. play around your
Yeah.
top side with Closer and
Yeah.
Someday. Put resources there, win the games through there. Just be like opposite Cloud9, though, which is good. They shouldn't be trying to. It felt like later during the series they tried to emulate Cloud9's playstyle, and it just wasn't really happening because Closer was visiting bot a lot, and you saw they were trying to play through bot.
I mean, Game 5 was literally almost identical compositions. You've got a carry top laner, you've got a playmaking with hard clear in the jungle, you've got a roaming mid laner with a good amount of support or a good amount of setup available to them. You've got engaged supports, although admittedly Rel is way better on that. But anyways, and you've got hard carry ADCs. Now, admittedly, MF and Vayne, that's the biggest discrepancy there. But they did not execute in the way that Cloud9 can execute their preferred composition style. And yeah, we should have seen a situation where Vulcan and Sven just were cowering under their turret, and Damonte and Closer were just... It should have been a 4v2 in the bot lane the entire game, if that's what they were going to do. And yeah, they didn't execute on it.
I like how Vetty has tweeted, "Hey, Perks is in his 1-2 comfort zone."
Oh boy, dude, I'm not gonna lie. If Perks was kind of a non-factor the first 3 games, and then
later on just turned into a good player.
It felt like Vulcan and Perks were just asleep at the wheel, and Sven and Blabber were just shaking them for the first 2 games. Wake the fuck up, guys! We need you to actually play with your monitors.
Hey, now this marks Perks' second reverse sweep. The first one people say was for G2 versus Fnatic.
G2 versus Fnatic, yeah.
Yeah, this is the second reverse sweep though. So, there's still issues I have for them moving into the finals. But I mean, the promise is.
I don't see them as favored. Yeah, no. I don't see them as favored.
We even said one of these could have won the series, which they really could have, honestly. They played great, honestly. But that's pretty much it. I gotta watch the last series, and we'll see where it goes. It's almost over, guys. It's almost over. Oh
it's not almost over, because then we'll hit LCS starts, and then I'll get to rub in everyone's face my superior picks. I'm feeling really bad because someone first round picked Fudge in my LCS pool. So I'm yo, man.
It's the 139 guy.
I feel bad for him.
He probably wanted to. I know who. No names. He probably wanted to pick every C9 player.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. Although, even then, I
still would never do that though. Because generally when it comes to those leagues, I like to pick other players that I know could pop off in teams that aren't as good. So I would have chosen Closer. I would have chosen players like Alfari or Someday. That's why I like to win. I don't win with best players.
Yeah, no.
Supposed best players,
Just pick it. Yeah, exactly.
But that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say? Unless you want to cover the TL series later on tomorrow, potentially, if you let you free.
We'll see, because I start a new job pretty quick, so
a new job.
Got it.
Will it still be available for Mondays and stuff like that?
We'll see. We'll talk. Don't worry. I will say I will throw this in. C9 would look a hell of a lot better if Fudge could play weak side. And if Perks decides to, I don't know, just fucking shove a Monster energy drink down his throat, I don't know what you got to do to wake the dude up.
I'll say this right now. I don't care if people take it as a hot take. This is just generally how I feel. Was there a real reason to get rid of Licorice? If you weren't going to get a real upgrade?
I feel like they thought Fudge was going to be a real upgrade.
Yeah.
That, or you know what? This is actually something I thought about. They might have been really concerned about the longevity because Licorice did have wrist issues, if I remember.
It's true.
So that this might have been you know what? I'll say this. Fudge is the youngest player in the entire fucking league. If anybody is going to, develop talent, it's going to be C9.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have a little bit of faith because I already bought the jersey. So I'm kind of already locked in. I gotta have some faith. I don't have faith.
I bought in multiple C9 jerseys. I have the newest one coming.
Oh shit!
I'm just You're
fucking flexing on me, dude.
No, I'm just a bad man because I have to have a piece of everyone one of their merch for the.
Could you imagine if Fudge and Someday switch spots though? Like, how fucking scary is that?
Imagine if Sven. Imagine if like Sven. Because Sven should be resident by next year, right? Should be. No, because he can be 20.
Oh shit!
No, he can't be.
No, because he started on TSM. Was it a year or 2 years?
It was 2018.
It's 3 years.
Oh no! Someday could.
It's it's fucking 3 years. Oh shit!
But wouldn't Someday count as an? No, Someday would Someday be grandfathered in now?
He probably would be grandfathered in. Oh shit!
I'm saying this. Yeah,
we're gonna see.
Hey Jack.
Someday to C9 next year if Fudge doesn't literally turn into a fucking god by the end of the year.
Hey, I'm no offense to Fudge, but hey, if Jack was like, "Hey, we're getting Someday," I'd be like, "I'm sorry, dude. Bye." Hey, it is what it is.
Just keep Fudge as a sub, and that way you could, like, if he suddenly turns into a god, you're fine.
Dude, one of the guys in the group, bro, one of the guys in the group was like, "Yeah, dude, they'll sub in Darshan. Darshan is garbage. I watched the academy.
No,
Darshan sucks, dude.
No,
Darshan is terrible.
Bro, no, Darshan. There was years where I was like, you know what, Darshan is Zion Spartan, whatever the fuck he's going by right now. Yo, he was fucking good. Those years are done. He is an academy player at best.
I've watched the academy games. He's terrible. He's bad. No Darshan. He's literally there to mentor the new guys. That's fine.
And to be fair, he's probably fucking good at that because a lot of the new guys are starting to get their groove on. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Like Darshan versus Fudge, I would take Fudge 100% of the time. Even with all of my problems with Fudge, it is zero fucking contest. Darshan doesn't even. I don't even look his way. He's in the hallway, like glancing in my direction, and I'm just like fucking side-eyed, just like nope.
All right, guys. See you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy Nightwing and dang it, you're supposed to be like and Trackhawk signing out. See you guys later. Peace. Have a good day. And 100 Thieves.
You gotta preface them.
100 Thieves suck, and TL is fucking garbage.
Oh, no!
Oh, dang it. I was gonna leave it in there.